Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next comment question comes from CF in response to Roland MX-1A, so long and thanks for all the beats, a video I did in June 2021. CF writes, I would think that there would be somewhere some screen aftermarket, since there is a lot of old stuff. I hope the future that someone would make one, because this is a fantastic drum machine. There are lots of users. That may be the case. But unfortunately, many synths and other instruments have displays that are fairly simple, i.e. columns and characters or addressable displays. And in many cases, you can pick up an aftermarket display for that synth, and the relevant user group has basically already installed it and they can tell you how to mod the machine. Good aftermarket screens don't require very much modification, if I'm brutally honest. If you see people starting to cut bits off and change bits and stuff like that, then that's probably a good reason to sort of steer clear of that particular screen, because it's not, well, it may not be the best compatible screen for the synthesizer. Keep looking is probably what I would say. The problem with the R8 display is it mixes this type of display and has a grid on the screen that shows information. This makes it a little bit harder to manufacture. Not a lot, but a little bit. But it's not impossible. To bring my R8 back to life, I would be willing to pay £100 on a replacement display, but would others, would it be worth the time somebody investing to actually produce a limited number of these old Samsung displays, effectively remanufacturing them? I don't know. I would be. I collect this stuff. I'm a collector. I play this stuff. I'm a synth enthusiast. Therefore, I probably will be willing to spend the money. But many other people don't have the money to drop on this sort of stuff, and therefore probably wouldn't be willing to spend the money. And you've got to work out whether there's actually a market for some of this stuff. I mean, it's like knobs and sliders. I'm absolutely convinced there's a market for knobs and sliders, but I don't think the market is particularly big. Next one comes from Live Warp Lopez, and this is a video I did, recurring Roland MX-1 questions I did on November 2021. And Live Warp writes, hi, great channel, I really want an MX-1, but do you think Roland may release a new version anytime soon? Now, this is an interesting question. It's been raging for a number of years because the MX-1 was wholly inadequate. Because Roland outgrew the MX-1 very, very quickly with the new releases and never went back and addressed the issue. And I would like to say the Drumble Drums are kind of beating the way that, there is an MX-2 on the way. But sadly, I think if Roland were going to do an updated version of the MX-1, it probably would have hit the streets by now. Roland have basically created the demand for the platform, and I don't really understand why they haven't put a device in place to meet that demand. The way they integrate the instruments with the computer platform creates demand and a captive audience. Because Roland effectively has all their stuff is non-class compliant, you have to have Roland drivers to integrate this stuff to the Roland, to your PC and whatever DAW you're using or however you set it up. It also means that the way the MX-1 is configured, you can't just pass stuff through from other manufacturers because it won't recognise it particularly well. It doesn't recognise it at all in some instances. If it does actually work as a hub, then that's something completely different. But this is the reality of where we are. I don't understand why Roland haven't introduced a 16-channel MX-2 with multiple USB ports to support more than 4 boutiques and power things and other bits like that. I really don't understand the whole logic behind Roland not doing that, because I think people would probably buy it if they bought into Aria Boutique and a number of the other synths. I mean, this synth, this is the Jupiter 80 that's sitting behind me. This integrates with the MX-1. And I've had it working through the MX-1 for a number of years when when the old studio setup was in place, and they did that for a number of synths they introduced to allow the MX-1 to effectively become the focal point of your studio in terms of mixing capability. And I used to use the MX-1 for a number of the boutiques, number of ARIA pieces, and then it used to be slaved as a sub mixer to the main mixer, but they just don't seem interested at the moment. Whether there is something coming down the line, I have absolutely no idea.